In today's video, I want to talk about my emotions based on my personal experiences of having missed sales targets before, hit sales targets, and ultimately the optimal sales mindset, operating from a place of indifference. I remember vividly in 2021, I was sitting at about $800,000 in one revenue. My quota was $350,000. I was getting on the plane to fly back to Ohio to visit my family for Thanksgiving. Better believe I paid for that upgrade on Southwest to sit A1 through 15. I'm sitting there with my headphones in thinking, I'm the man. Looking around saying, are you 300% in quota right now? I don't think so. I thought I was the man. I was on top of the world. Fast forward a year later in 2022, headed back to Ohio for Thanksgiving. I was sitting at $500,000 in one revenue on an $800,000 quota. And I felt like a piece of shit, to be honest with you. I was sitting there, I didn't pay for the upgrade that year. Business was not going well. And truthfully, I didn't feel like I deserved to make the trip back to see my family. And I was not very happy as a person. Fast forward to 2023, where we find ourselves at this moment in time. I got the family coming out to me for Thanksgiving because, of course, I'm based on the 45th floor of downtown Austin, Texas. But I'm now leading sales for my family business. I set the quota. If I don't make sales, if we don't grow, there is no fear of getting fired. There's no performance reviews. There is no manager deal reviews. It's all on me. And the most important lesson from this video that hopefully you'll find value from, that I've learned slowly but steadily over time based on my personal experiences, is that when you associate your sense of self-worth and self-identity based on external achievements, it is a recipe for disaster and it's not sustainable. Meaning, they tell you, hey, get the promotion at the office, you'll make more money, you'll be more respected by everyone around you, and you'll live happily ever after. I did that for a long time because I thought that was the most competitive way to operate. Hey, I need to hit my target or else I suck. So I thought I was great because I hit my quota for the first 10 out of 10 quarters, whatever it was, and then all of a sudden you miss your quota, and it psychologically starts to play games with you because you start to question and doubt yourself. Am I as good as I thought? What are they going to think of me? What does this mean for my future? I didn't promote on time. I'm falling behind in my career. So the most important point, find satisfaction from intrinsic methods, meaning I just experience joy and purpose from the process. I'm obsessed with the work. The reward for work is more work. Every time I got promoted, the work didn't stop. They just said, hey, you now have the opportunity to make more money, but you're also going to have to do way more work to eventually earn it. So I found that all of the satisfaction and self-worth comes from my character now. I want to be honest. I want to have integrity. I want to be a good person. I want to make other people feel special. But I need to now find passion and fulfillment and value from actually doing the work in and of itself. So for those of you who are sitting there working in corporate America, you got a big quota and you're on this ship. And the ship may be headed towards a beautiful, sunny Bahamas location, maybe the Mediterranean Sea in the summer, and you're going to hit quota and you're feeling great about yourself. You're on top of the world. Some of you, the ship is going to a dark, dark place. It is going to Antarctica. You see the iceberg in the distance, and there is no change in course because either you have the pipeline to hit or you don't have the pipeline to hit. Either that deal is going to come in or that deal is going to follow out. And the beautiful thing about sales is that the result is binary. Either you hit quota or you miss quota. So with that frame, the way I think about missing sales targets is that it causes you to feel a great sense of fear. It causes you to feel like a failure. And it causes you to get desperate. And let me break down each one of these 3 points because I'm guessing one of the 3 resonates with your situation right now. Beginning with the fear of fear, the way I always thought about it was, okay, so if I miss quota, I'm not going to get paid the most I can because I'm not hitting my quota. Okay, that's one thing, but okay, I fear missing out on hitting this promotion target by this certain date so that I can reach this arbitrary career milestone by age 27. I'm a senior account executive. Oh, age 29, I'm an enterprise account executive. I'm falling behind. Hey, I'm fearful if I miss my quota, they're gonna put me on a PIP, a performance improvement plan. Oh boy, what happens if I miss my quota on this PIP? What, am I gonna get fired? I got fired. I've actually experienced getting fired from a corporate America organization, and it certainly was a fear of mine at one point in time, but having actually lived it and experienced it, it's actually not as bad as you think. Even though everyone talks about you, everyone gossips about you, there may be a perception or a stigma, oh, they got fired. I lived it, I experienced it, it's not as bad as you think. So I encourage you to do the exercise, it's called fear casting. So think about your worst case scenario right now. Whatever I mentioned or some scary situation that your mind's playing tricks on you, think about that worst case scenario, that fear you have, and ask yourself, okay, how bad would it actually be if that happened? Oh, I lose my job, no more money coming in. Okay, I got enough money saved up to live for 3 years, don't have to work. No, it's not that bad. I'll find another job between now and then. All is good. So think about the worst case scenario, and the fear of wondering what it is actually worse than experiencing whatever it is your worst fear is. So just realize it's not as bad as you may think. Next, feeling like a failure. This is certainly big for me because I always thought if I try as hard as I can and I still come up short, then I'm not as good as I thought, I have no hope, people are gonna judge me, There's an endless list of reasons about feeling like a failure, because if you watch my videos, you're probably a high performer, you care about getting better, and you're gonna feel some failure. And the lesson here that I've learned is nothing is ever as good or as bad as it seems. And the advice I got from a senior enterprise leader at our company, who was my mentor at one point in time, he said, nothing is ever as good or as bad as it seems. So staying even keeled and having a mild temper really helps a lot psychologically when you're working these big deals, and sometimes you'll get a break, sometimes you won't get a break, and a lot of things are gonna go against you because as salespeople, we are paid to be told no. So you're not a failure unless you label yourself a failure. And then finally, a sense of desperation. This is what we call quota breath. You're in the quarter, you know you don't have the pipeline, you got this big target, and you realize you got this gap, and there's just no way for you to get to your target. So what I would advise you to think about is recognize that you tried your best, and if you actually did, then you can rest comfortably knowing you did try your best. Everyone around you is trying your best, and it's all about taking extreme ownership. Okay, so why did I come up short? Was there an inbound deal that I basically had to win or I had no chance? Could I have self-generated more pipeline to have had a greater pipeline coverage than what I actually had? If you miss quota, it's most likely a pipeline problem. And if you got a pipeline problem, there could be a lot of actual causes that lead to that root issue, but it really comes down to you didn't get enough pipeline. It's all about taking ownership for that. So whenever you're at a place in the corner and you have no chance of hitting, you don't want to get desperate and try to artificially pull forward deals or burn bridges or be irritable with people or project your problems onto them. Accept ownership. Be as truthful as possible to your leadership and express, look, I came up short. Here are the reasons why. It's my fault. This is what I'm going to fix next quarter. And as soon as you can, start playing for next quarter. That's what I did when I was in a tough situation in a Q4. I recognized that I was going to come up really short to my quota. And rather than getting in my head and thinking, oh, I lost my confidence or anything, I remain equally as confident. But I started playing for the next quarter because I knew I could set myself up. I would have a massive next quarter. I'd reboot my momentum and figure it out. So in times of desperation, zoom out and gain perspective. Okay, this is only one quarter. There's 4 quarters in a year. I got a lot of time to make it up, or I'm playing for next quarter and I'm going to figure it out at that point. So the whole point of this video is if you're dealing with the mental struggles, the fears, the failures, the disappointments, the desperations when you're coming up short to quota. I had a friend recently tell me, hey, I feel like I have a dark cloud around me. And I said, well, carry your own weather around with you because you decide how you respond to situations, and you decide if you find achievement and purpose from internal sources or external sources, and only you can be the judge of which one you value more. If you found value in today's video, hit the thumbs up button now. I read and respond to all the comments, so let me know any questions you have or any video ideas you'd like me to make specifically for you, because I absolutely will. And connect with me on LinkedIn if we have not already. Bye.